What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. How is everybody doing this evening, afternoon, morning? I don't know. I don't know when it is. Nights. Could be nights. That's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do every time I do. It's a late night view, by the way. But every time I do a late night view now, I think I'm going to say like good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. All of it. I think it encapsulates everything. Doesn't it? Because last night when we did the late night view, I mentioned that, it's 6 p.m. over here in the UK, and people will say, it's more evening, it's not late night. Some people were saying late night to them is more like 10 p.m. But then you do get, because we've got a global audience here on United View, you've got some people in like South Africa that are saying, no, for me, it's like 10:30 at night. It is a late night. So it's a late night view somewhere, but you can let me know. You can let me know where you're watching from, and you can let me know the time. You can let me know if you're watching someplace in Asia and it's, I don't know, the evening or night. You can let me know if you're watching in the United States. You can say where from and what kind of view it is. Is it a morning view? Is it an afternoon view? Is it an evening view? Or is it a night view? You can let me know. Let's have a look, see what you guys are saying, because, of course, as always, I can get your names up in the chat. Muhammad Ali, great name, says, noon in Houston, Texas. Love to Houston, Texas. Someone says Sheffield. Yeah, exactly. Gabrielle says, it's my lunchtime view, 1 p.m. in Toronto, all the way in Canada. Ice Cold says it's 1 p.m. in Antigua, so we're getting sort of a midday view in Antigua. Austin says it's a noon view. Ivan says it's an afternoon view. I'm liking this. It's a late night view for some. It's an afternoon view for others. It's a morning view. I think that's what I'm going to do. But every time I do a late night view, I'm going to say, where are you watching from and what kind of view is it? Is it afternoon? Is it morning? It always interests me. I'll just slap my microphone as well. That's a good start, isn't it? Oh, it's a good start. You know what it is? I think it's because I've just got so much energy and excitement around international football being over. It really is. And I know we kind of spoke about this yesterday with international football. And like everyone, I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad that we can focus on the season resuming in the Premier League, especially for United, because given the way that it ended and given the games that we have coming up, there is just so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about tonight as well, because Jesse Lingard. We're going to talk about Jesse Lingard. We're going to talk about Paul Pogba again. Yeah, I know. We're also going to talk about the South American players, Edson Cavani, Fred, because there's the feeling that they won't play at the weekend, but maybe they could. So we'll have to wait and see. I want to get you guys' opinions in tonight as well, because obviously there's going to be so much coming up over the course. I was talking to Flex about this today. There's going to be so much coming up over the course of the next 2 weeks or so. Obviously your opinion is going to be in all over the place, but this might be one of the last times for a while that we're able to do like a late night view that's quite, sort of intimate, just me and you. So I really want to get you guys' opinions up on the screen tonight. So I'm excited to see what you guys are saying. Mate, you're doing a great job. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm terrible at taking a compliment. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Terrible at taking a compliment. I don't know if it's like a British thing or whatever, but when someone says, oh, you're doing a good job, mate, or well done, I'm always just like, no, thanks. More used to criticism, if I'm going to be honest with you. Let's start off, though. Let's talk about Jesse Lingard, and I want to get you guys' opinions on this. So Jesse Lingard, obviously you can see the title, you can see it on the thumbnail. It says that it says Lingard January exit. And the reason why we're talking about a January exit possibly for Jesse Lingard is according to the Mirror, and again, but according to the Mirror, Jesse Lingard is ready to leave Manchester United in January to rescue his hopes of going to next year's World Cup. Of course, that's the World Cup that's in December next year. It's the Winter World Cup, first ever Winter World Cup. According to this report, Lingard has grown frustrated with his role in Manchester United's squad and wants to feature regularly. Now, there's another little part of this report that I will talk about as well. This bit comes from Samuel Luckhurst, who says, sources say there is no issue between Solskjaer and Jesse Lingard. Some sources close to Lingard believe he should consider his options in January if he remains on the periphery of Manchester United. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, guys? I'll be honest with you. When I saw that report come out, when I saw that story come out saying that Jesse Lingard is open to leaving in January, he's open to moving in January to rescue his hopes of going to next year's World Cup, and he's grown frustrated with his role in the Manchester United squad, my reaction was, what on earth did you expect? Seriously, what on earth did you expect? You can go back. I've been doing videos here on the channel since July, maybe? July, August? I can't remember. Time flies so quickly. But throughout the entirety of the summer, and I don't think I'm alone here, in the entirety of the summer, everyone said to Jesse Lingard, and these are Manchester United fans who want to see Jesse Lingard, have the best career possible. Everyone said you should probably leave. Not in a way of, oh, you're not good enough for Manchester United, oh, we don't like you, Jesse Lingard. It was just the case, and it became more and more and more and more apparent as the summer went on. There are just way too many people ahead of you. And you're in the England squad now. The reason you weren't in the squad for the Euros last year is because you left it too late. You went out on loan last year to West Ham and had a resurgence in your form and in your career because you weren't playing at Manchester United. The first team opportunities weren't available to you at the time. It wasn't as if Jesse Lingard was out of an injury for the first half of last season. No, he wasn't playing. He just wasn't playing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even then, let alone now, with improvements that have subsequently come in, then he thought there are too many players ahead of Jesse Lingard. He just doesn't feature into my plans, or he's certainly not one of the first names on the team sheet, especially in his position. So he said, look, I want to play first-team football. There's a European Championships coming up. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went, fine, because not like we don't need you, but you're not going to play that much. So Lingard went out, had a great end to the season, and let's face it, if he'd have had a full season at West Ham, he'd have been in that England squad, no doubt about it. And I thought, given that was the case, given he was this close to making it into the England squad, and technically, whilst the European Championship was across Europe, it was essentially a home games for us. Given that it was such a massive tournament, he must have been watching it wherever he was watching it going, man, if I'd have just left a little bit earlier, if I was at West Ham from the beginning of the season, that could have been me. That could have been me playing in a European Championship final. And I thought, you know what, sanity will prevail here. Because since then, it's not as if Man United have lost a load of players in his position and we really need Jesse Lingard. No. What happened? We signed Jadon Sancho. Cristiano Ronaldo came back. And there's this jigsaw trying to fit everyone into this squad, into this side. And I thought that there's just too many people ahead of him. And then as the window went on, and as time went on, what did we hear? We kind of heard, well, Jesse Lingard wants reassurances, but he wants to fight for his position at Manchester United. Then we heard reports basically said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said to Jesse that he's got a part to play this season. Oh, you've got a part to play. You had a great pre-season. If he didn't have COVID, he would have started the first game of the season against Leeds. We heard all that kind of stuff, and it was like, what? It was like that thing like John Travolta. I'm looking around going, seriously? Are we just missing everything? Did we just ignore what happened last year? And now, when I hear the report going, Jesse Lingard, he's thinking about leaving in January because he doesn't have the first team opportunities or he wants reassurances of his playing time. What did he expect? Seriously, what did you expect? And I don't really know, because we're not in the room, I don't know who to shelve or who to push the blame towards. Is it on Jesse Lingard for going, you really thought you were going to play, or you really thought you were going to fight for your place, and now it's been a few months and you've gone, actually, that's not going to happen? Well, what did you think? What did you expect? And if it's on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, from his point of view, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer say to Jesse Lingard, you've got a point to play, mate? KG always says that Ole lies. Maybe he was lying. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying to Jesse Lingard, yeah, you got a part to play. Oh, you've got a huge part to play. Yes, you're going to be involved. So I don't know. I just, like I said, when I saw that, I thought, like, what's changed? Nothing. Nothing's changed. And if Lingard's come to this realization now, like it's this grand revelation of, I'm not actually going to play games this season, actually. Oh, it's like, who's advising him? Seriously. Because anyone could have told you that. Any Man United fan could have told you that there are players ahead of you and your opportunities are going to be limited. Now, the irony is that whenever Lingard has played for United this season, he's done well. I mean, take the young boy's mistake out of it, which obviously cost us the game, but take that out of it. He scored against, obviously, Newcastle, scored the winner against West Ham, set up the winner against Villarreal. Every time he's come off the bench, he's done very well. If anything, he's kind of hurt his chances of starting games because Solskjaer's looked at that going, I tell you what, every single time I bring Jesse Lingard off the bench, he either scores a goal or he gets an assist or he gets involved in the play. And maybe that's the realization for Lingard. He's going, look, actually, When I said I wanted assurances in my part of the squad, I want to be starting games. I don't want to be playing so well from the bench that Solskjaer just sees me as an impact player. But in reality, you almost have to know your own abilities. Yes, you back yourself, but does Jesse Lingard really think what is even his position? I don't think a 10. So if he's going to be on the left, do you really think he's the best left-sided player in the team? Because that's just not happening. Marcus Rashford's coming back. We've got Jadon Sancho in. We've also got Mason Greenwood, who's not going to be playing as a striker because we've got Ronaldo and Cavani up front. So there's all these moving parts. And again, now you look at it and you would say, well, of course you're not going to be starting games. There are way too many players ahead of you. So what do you expect? Seriously, what do you expect? So I don't really... I just, when I saw that story come out earlier that he was considering leaving and he was thinking about his options, assessing his options, again, my feeling was just, okay, and you've just come to this realization now. In other news, did you sort of just sit there one day, look out the window and went, the sky's blue? The sky's blue, guys. This is strange. This is strange. I wasn't expecting this. These are facts of life. Grass is green. The grass is green. This is odd. You know what I mean? It's just I just found it very odd, very very odd. DJ's in the chat. DJ's in the chat this evening. Says, let's have a look. Not that DJ. There's two DJs. Says 25 to 35 million. Anything in between that, I would be happy. And then he says Owen selling Lingard may begin the midfield rebuild. That's an interesting one. What do you guys think? If Lingard is to go in January, and obviously we also have to think about his contract expiring. If Manchester United, because this is really where the power is with Jesse Lingard, isn't it? If Jesse Lingard goes to Manchester United, goes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and says, look, we spoke about this in the summer. You said that I might have a part to play. You said all that kind of stuff. I've now realised that I'm not going to be starting games. There's a World Cup next year and I want to go. I want to leave. What price realistically can Manchester United get for Jesse Lingard? His contract's up at the end of the season. And don't think for 1 second clubs don't know that. Clubs will be looking at that going, look, in the summer, we would have maybe paid 35 million, 30 million. Now, he's got 6 months left on this contract. The clubs will be offering as low as 15. Which you'll say, oh, and that's ridiculous. They will. Of course they will. They'll be saying, look, in 6 months' time, we'll get him for free. So 15, maybe 20 at a push, but we ain't getting a lot of money for him either now. So that's where the DJ says there, like, it might start the midfield rebuild, but realistically, is it? If we sell Lingard for 20 million, 15 million, that's not enough to get the game-changing defensive midfield option that they're looking for. The reason we would be selling Lingard in January is because he goes to Manchester United. I don't want to stay here anymore. And United go, shit, he's going to leave on a free. We don't want him to leave on a free. We'll have to sell him. We'll have to sell him somewhere. And clubs will know that. So it's not as if we're going to get a ton of money for him either. That's the issue. That's the problem. Unless we can... try and facilitate some kind of deal. Like, even I see some people going, well, maybe if he goes back to West Ham, maybe we can facilitate it into a deal for Declan Rice. West Ham won't be going for that. West Ham will just go, no, we're not going to sell Declan Rice because maybe he wants to stay, or if we want to sell Declan Rice, we know those prices that's been quoted for Declan Rice. And again, they'll say, we'll just wait 6 months and then we'll get him on a free because we can. Again, let's be honest. That's the frustration, and we're not going to be getting a load of money. DJ says should have sold him in the summer. Stupid move by United. Well, in fairness, what I will say, DJ, about that one is we don't know if United. I mean, by all accounts, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said to Jesse that he would have a part to play, but I don't know if it was if Jesse Lingard was really pushing for that move. In the same way that lots of Man United fans were pushing for that move in the summer, saying he needs to go because he's just not going to be playing games and he will fall out of the England squad, etc. We never did we hear a story? Did we hear a story in the summer of Jesse Lingard wants to leave Manchester United, or Jesse Lingard's forcing a move through out of Manchester United? We never heard it. We never heard that in the summer. This is really, honestly, isn't it? This is really the first time we've actually heard anything from Jesse Lingard in the sense that he's ready to leave, or, he wants to, not that he wants to leave because they don't really say that, but it says that he's ready to leave and he's frustrated. Have we heard that before? We kind of haven't. We haven't heard that from Lingard before. We certainly didn't in the summer. That's why this is a little bit different now. So, but look, if he does go, like I said, I don't see him going for that much. It's an interesting one for you guys in the chat. I mean, how much, if Jesse Lingard does go in January, how much would you want for him? And I guess the more real sort of question there is, how much would you want for him? But how much do you think we're actually going to get for him? Because how much are we going to get for a player that's got 6 months on his contract that is openly saying that he doesn't want to be at the club anymore, or he's open to leaving? That's the interesting one, isn't it? And look, when it comes to January as well, English players are far more open to going abroad at this point, right? English players are far more open to going abroad, so he can talk to European clubs or clubs outside of England from January. Who's to say he doesn't sign a pre-contract with a club in Italy? Who's to say he doesn't do that, or a club in Spain, or wherever it may be? He can absolutely do that, or Germany. Because if say Borussia Dortmund start talking to Jesse Lingard in January and go, look, sign a pre-contract, end of the season, you'll come in. Now, obviously, Lingard might be like, oh, is that enough time? I still do want to be playing, and that means I've got to stay at United for the remainder of the season. Am I going to be playing? Is that going to hurt my England chances? Or is he going to think, you know what, I'll go to Borussia Dortmund? You know, these are the things. These are the things United have to consider, and they are in a difficult position now. They certainly are. John Harvey says 20 million. Adam Whitman says 0. Think he might leave on a free. Cool says he needs to leave for his career. Should have kept Raiola. Oh, that's a bit of a statement there. That is. Should have kept Raiola. Oh dear. DJ says 27 million. It's very specific. It's very specific, DJ. 27 million. 0.5, 0.2 in installments. DJ's going in depth there. DJ Smith says we won't get anything for him as the selling fee can go in Lingard's pocket in the summer. Oh, well, yeah, certainly the signing on fee. That's what a lot of people say. You know, Steffi Jenks says was on a West Ham fan channel. How dare you, Steffi? How dare you? Says they talked about 10 to 50 million. That's not a lot. Like I said, I really think there is a possibility that Lingard could go for, say, you know, a 15 million. Which sounds really low, but at the end of the day, like I said, 6 months. He's got 6 months left on his contract, and if that's the case, then he's going to go. Then he's going to go for little amounts because clubs will know that, and clubs will know that he wants to leave. So, you know, that's kind of the situation there. So Jesse Lingard could be on his way out of Manchester United. Now I mentioned we're going to talk about Paul Pogba, and again, I know the Pogba saga. You know, that's the ongoing drama. What did we call it last night? The Pogba pantomime. I think we might have called it last night. The Pogba pantomime. It continues. Be sure to smash a like on the video, by the way. We've got over 200 people watching. Only on 59 likes. See if we can get the likes up to 100 likes. So that's, by my maths, 41. See? It might be late night somewhere, but you're going to have to get... It's pretty still sharp. Still sharp up here. So let's see if we can get to 100 likes on the video. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. The Pogba pantomime continues. So this one comes from Andy Mitten, who says, quote, Paul Pogba is open to signing a new contract with Manchester United, but it's taking his time over what is a huge decision for a 28-year-old at a crucial stage in his career. It was also reported that Pogba is actually feeling quite relaxed on the situation. The latest that we know when it comes to an actual deal on the table for Paul Pogba comes from The Athletic, who said that Manchester United have made Paul Pogba an offer, which will make him one of the world's best paid footballers and the second highest earner at Manchester United, of course, behind Cristiano Ronaldo, at £400,000 a week. Pogba is open to re-signing, but is taking time over what is a huge decision at a crucial stage. So it's kind of the same thing. So Pogba's taking this time, and I don't like to say I told you so, guys, but I tell you what, I bloody told you so, because that's kind of been my feeling on it for the longest time. I mentioned it yesterday. I mentioned it in the summer during the transfer window that Paul Pogba, in my opinion, isn't going to do anything anytime soon. That's it. That's literally, he's not going to do anything anytime soon. He's not going to sign his contract in the next few weeks. He's not going to sign it in the next few months. He's not going to sign it, I don't think, in 2021. I think he's going to wait right up until we're talking April, May, June, or possibly July, right at the end of his contract. He wants to see the lay of the land. And I don't blame him. I really don't blame him for that. I know, and I agree with you, that as a Manchester United fan, of course, we would want to see Paul Pogba go, I love Manchester United. I'm committed to the club. I'm committed to the project. I love the fans. I love this club. Here's the contract. You may be one of the best paid players in the world. The highest paid, second highest paid player at the club. Yes, signature on the contract, done. I'm staying here 5 more years. Let's go win some trophies. We would love to see that. But we're not going to. We're not going to because Paul Pogba, like the report says, he's 28 years old. And what's he won over the course of the last few years? Not a lot. You saw how happy he was when he was holding up the Nations League trophy in the week. That's Nations League. He was thrilled with it because there was a bit of silverware for the first time since, the World Cup a few years ago, that he's actually picked up a trophy. Otherwise, he's not picking up that much at Manchester United when it comes to silverware. And that matters. That really does matter. I think it's almost Paul Pogba. People criticize him so much, don't they, because of the social media presence, the haircuts, maybe a lack of consistency, or a lack of, some people when they see him sort of jogging around, not really wanting to do defending, people can say he's lazy. But I think we know at this point it's not about money. It's not about money, Paul Pogba, because this contract offer from Manchester United has been on the table since July, and it's 400k a week. Is the second highest paid player at Manchester United. If Ronaldo wasn't here, he would be the highest paid player at the club, one of the best paid football players in the world. So it's not obviously about money, because if it was about money, he would take that. He would take that, absolutely, because he'd be like, why wouldn't I take that? It's about trophies. It's about success. It's about winning things. And that's why he's taking his time. If Manchester United were top of the league right now, 9 points ahead, and we'd already, won every game in the Champions League, and we were playing some great football, Paul Pogba would have signed by now. He would have, because he would have said, you know what, Manchester United, we're really onto something here. We're destroying teams in the Premier League. We're beating teams in the Champions League. And they're paying me good money. Of course I'll stay. Again, it's not about money. It's about success. And he's looking around right now and he's saying, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be successful. And as a Manchester United fan, I agree. I don't know if we're going to be successful or not right now. I have no idea. I say it every time DJ texts me on a match day. What do you think today? I don't know. I don't know, DJ. I have no idea. Because you have no idea what Manchester United is going to show up. And that does come down to coaching. It does come down to a variety of other factors. If we were dominant right now, Paul Pogba would have signed for Manchester United. Because it's not about money. It's not. It's about success. He's 28 years old. He wants to win things. Now, granted, if he were to go to, say, a Juventus, you could argue, is that about success? Because at the moment, Italy's a bit of a... Juventus aren't the dominant force that they were a couple of years ago. If he wants just pure success and trophies, go to PSG. They win the league most years, not last year. Are they going to win the Champions League this year? Who knows? I mean, PSG, to be honest, haven't really set the world alight in the Champions League, have they? Even though they beat Man City. So I think it is about success. And I think also that's why he's taken his time as well. Because is there a club out there right now in sort of world football that you look at and go, and they're going to win all the trophies right now? It's difficult. It's not as cut and dry as it once was. Previously, for the last however many years, 15 years, you would have looked at those two clubs in Spain, wouldn't you? Of Real Madrid and Barcelona, going, them two, they're going to, either one of them's going to win the league and they'll be close when it comes to the Champions League. I'll go there. Now it's different. Now it's way harder to predict. And I think that also comes into it. I think he's looking at how successful are Manchester United going to be? I don't know. And if I am looking elsewhere, who else is going to be successful? Who else is a successful option? I don't know. So I think he's just taking his time and going, you know what, I'll wait and see. It's a wait and see approach. That's why there's reports coming out saying he's relaxed, because I almost bet you that since the beginning of the season, the plan has always been, we'll wait until the end of the season. We'll wait until the end of the season. That's why he's relaxed, because he's not diverting from the plan. The only reason he would divert from the plan is if Manchester United just completely pulled up trees and were just dominating teams, which we're not doing. So he's sticking to the plan of, I'll wait and see. I'll see where United are at the end of the season, and I'll see which clubs are interested in me. And I'll take a measured approach to it. And by all accounts as well, that doesn't mean Paul Pogba doesn't love the club. He's very happy, by all accounts, at Manchester United. He's I guess, almost a senior figure in the dressing room at this point. He likes being at the club. He likes the people he plays with. He's relatively happy. His family's settled as well. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, I don't think this is about money. I really don't. I think this is about success. That's my feeling on it. What's your feeling though? What's your feeling? Where do you think Paul Pogba? What do you think is going to happen with him? Because I have seen this quite a bit on social media that people are a bit on the fence by it. I'm quite surprised by it. For me, as I mentioned before, and as Sir Alex Ferguson said, you always start your best players. In my opinion, you always keep your best players as well, which Pogba is one of our better players. But I've seen quite a few people that say, get rid of him. A lot of people are just tired of the saga. A lot of people are tired of the pantomime. They're like, you know what? I'm tired of it. I don't want the Paul Pogba situation going on anymore. I can't be bothered with it. And if he wants to go, then let him go. So what do you think? Where would you like to see? What do you think is going to happen with Paul Pogba? Do you think he's going to sign with Manchester United? Or do you think he's relaxed because, kind of like my opinion, he's going to wait till the end of the season? And that's always been the plan. I'd love to know that. DJ says, a midfield of Tchouaméni and Pogba complement each other really well. They did for the Nations League. Tchouaméni played really well. That's the weird one with Tchouaméni as well. It's like, what we hear it some days, Manchester United aren't interested, or they weren't in the summer, certainly. Now they are interested, or they're monitoring. I don't know. I really don't know. DJ Smith says Pogba will leave. Giorgio says Pogba presents a headache for Ollie. He breaks up McFred. The thing is, that would, you would laugh at that, but it's true. It actually is true. He does legitimately looks at that and goes, oh, how on earth do I get Fred and McTominay into the team? Because if I'm playing in midfield too, one of them's got to be Pogba. Oh, damn it. How do I do it, Jeffrey Taylor says, people are tired of the saga, but the saga is the club and the media's fault. If they fire Ollie and bring in a good coach, I think he stays. We have talent, but no plan of attack. I don't think you're alone in that opinion, Jeffrey. I think a lot of people would probably agree with you. And I think that does play into it. I really do. When I say that Pogba's got a wait-and-see approach, I think that's a similar situation as well. I think he's like everyone. Over the course of these huge games that are coming up over the course of the next few weeks, I think he looks at it and says, I'll see how we get through these games. Because in 6 weeks' time, Manchester United's position can look completely different. We could be in actually a really strong position in the league because we've beaten a lot of our rivals and we've played well in the Champions League, or we could be in a real bad situation of struggling in the Champions League, miles off it in the league, and maybe that does force United's hand in terms of the coaching and the coaching setup, etc. Maybe it does. And again, maybe that forces Pogba's hand. Maybe Pogba, if that's all on fire in a couple of weeks, goes, I'm not staying at Manchester United. Or if a new coach comes in, maybe he goes, well, maybe I will. All that, there is so much that is kind of hinging at the moment. It really is. Super chat from Ray Diaz says, Paul Pogba, great talent, but best position probably 10 and Bruno Energy. Every year we talk about Pogba leaving so we can stop talking about it if he leaves. Again, I do think a lot of people are quite tired of the saga. I've seen that as well, that people will say that Pogba's best position is a 10, but to be honest with you, if you said to me, and you have to have one person as a 10, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, by the way, I get it, it's a squad game, so you can rotate that. But if you said, look, if they're both fit, who do you have as a 10? Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba? It's Bruno Fernandes every single day of the week. Now, granted, I think they're different players, certainly in their style, but to be honest with you, I think that, Bruno Fernandes, just his stats are outrageous. And Paul Pogba ain't getting those stats, because he's not that consistent. He can have games like Bruno Fernandes where he'll score score 2 goals and get an assist or whatever, but then for the next 5 games he'll do nothing. And that's the frustration. At least with Bruno Fernandes, even if he's having a shitty game, he'll still get an assist or score a goal because that's what Bruno Fernandes does. Whereas Paul Pogba, if Paul Pogba's having a shitty game, he might as well just not be on the pitch because he'll offer nothing. And I think that's people's frustration as well. Because this is the thing. Paul Pogba divides opinion. Ask Graham Souness. That's agenda day. Paul Pogba divides opinion because a lot of people will say he's world class. And then other people say he's too inconsistent to be world class. It's really true. And, I think like yourself or listening like a lot of people, people are they're just tired of it, aren't they? I think that's the thing. They're just tired. We're 7 likes away from 100 likes, by the way. So we've got over 200 people watching. So be sure to smash a like on the like button as well. I just want to talk about this briefly, and then we'll wrap it up because we're only going to go for about half an hour again tonight because international break, and we've got so much coming up over the course of the next couple of weeks. So I don't want to keep too much of your time. But obviously, there's a lot of discussion about the South American players, and every time we go on an international break, there's a discussion about coming back and is Fred going to be available, all this kind of stuff. So this is coming from the Mail. It says that Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United are understood to be involved in clubbing together for a private jet to ensure that their South American players are back for this weekend's fixtures. Edison Cavani and Fred are expected to fly back. To be honest with you, and I know some people, not the Fred fans, certainly will be like, "Oh, just stay. You don't have to come back, Fred. You don't have to. You can stay as you want. Have a holiday if you want. Take some time. Yeah, you've earned it. You're running around. Your passion and desire. Rest it. Rest the passion and desire. Save your energy." Either way, even if they got this private jet, which I don't know how accurate that is, I don't think Fred starts at the weekend. Again, I think the midfield 2, because it will be a midfield 2, because we're getting 4-2-3-1. We're not getting a 4-3-3, or we're not getting a back 5 or something like that. Even though, considering both our centre-backs are out and we've got Lindelof and Bailly, now would be the perfect time to try something a little bit different, wouldn't it, right? But that's not going to happen. So given the fact that Ollie likes to have 2 sitting midfielders, I think it's going to be Pogba, because I do think Pogba will be one of them. I think it'll be Pogba, probably McTominay, because they want a bit of that passion and desire. If he can't have passion, he can have desire in Scott McTominay. That's what he'll probably go for. So I think it'll be Pogba and McTominay. Failing that, I think it would be Pogba and Matic. But again, I wouldn't even rule out, genuinely, I wouldn't even rule out that he went with McTominay and Matic, because he'll be so terrified, he being Ollie, I think he'll be so terrified that we've got these 2 erratic centre-backs playing in Lindelof and Bailly, they might think, they need protecting. If he plays McFred in front of Maguire and Varane, 2 centre-backs that don't need protecting, then what's he going to do with 2 centre-backs that legitimately do need protecting? I would not be stunned in the slightest if we got McTominay and Matic, because he'll think, got to protect him, got to protect him. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I really wouldn't. But yeah, I don't expect, obviously, Fred to play at the weekend. I don't expect Cavani to play at the weekend. Maybe bench, but I don't know. But let me know in the live chat, actually, before we wrap things up here. What do you think the midfield 2 is going to be at the weekend? I mean, this kind of gets into a bit of a match preview, obviously, which we'll be doing tomorrow, and the Solskjaer press conference. So we'll hear a lot about this tomorrow as well, and we'll talk about it a lot. But what do you think is going to be the midfield 2? What do you think is going to be that midfield 2 that plays against Leicester? I mean, it's not going to be an easy game. I know Leicester haven't been playing as well as they were last season, but what do you think? What do you think the midfield 2 is going to be? DJ says, I'm hoping Pogba and Matic, if not Donny and Matic. Hey, DJ, I mean, I hope you're sitting down, because I've got to break some huge news to you. Donny ain't playing. Donny ain't playing at all. That's not happening. We talked about Jesse Lingard leaving in January. Donny van de Beek, I mentioned this the other day. Like, how many starts, legitimately, do you think Donny van de Beek's getting between now and January? It's not even in double figures. Not happening. It's not happening. Seriously, it's not happening. GJ says McTominay and Pogba. I agree. Lynette says Beak and Matic. No, it's not happening. It's not happening, Lynette. Cool says Pogba and Scott. Adam Mittman says Ollie will play Matic and McTominay. Honestly, I would not be shocked. Would not be shocked. Seriously, I really would not be shocked if that happens. DJ Talk says Donny on DJ. It's you can cry, but it's over. It's over, unfortunately. I'm thinking unless Ollie goes, Donny van de Beek at starting games. Not that I'm over it at this point, because it is a crime, but that's just the situation. Giorgio says Donny and Matic are the logical choices. Scott and anybody but Donny are the likely ones. Scott, yeah, that's honestly, Giorgio, that's spot on. That is spot on. Scotty and certainly the Scotty and anybody but Donny. Donny's not playing. Donny's that's not happening. It really isn't happening. David Lee says McFred. McFred ain't playing at the weekend. No way. And David Lee, you're not invisible. I see you. I see everyone. I see everyone, David Lee. And I appreciate it. Shout out to the mods, as always. Shout out to the free seats, as always. But look, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. A little shorter late night view this evening. Be sure to smash a like on the video. Did get over 100 likes in the end, so I appreciate that. See if we can get it to 150. There's over 260 people watching. And be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Obviously, tomorrow we've got match preview and the press conference coming up. And then Saturday, finally, club football is back. The Premier League is back. So Saturday we've got the road trip, early doors with Flex. Then we're going to have the match view with KG. Then we're going to have the match reaction with myself. and have all the fan views, and then Sunday we're going to have the full view with everyone in. So how exciting is that? So be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, click the little bell for notifications as well, so be notified every time we do go live here for United View, and every time there's a video uploaded, such as the KG match highlights. They are always a pleasure to watch, and if you ever need a laugh, go and watch the KG match highlights. They're a lot of fun. They really are a lot of fun. So I enjoy watching those tremendously. So and obviously now's the best time to subscribe, because we've got these huge games coming up. We've got Champions Leagues returning as well next week. Obviously, then we've got the Liverpool game. So there's so much going on. Road to 100k continues as well. So be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, plenty of content coming in the future. I'll speak with you again very soon, probably tomorrow, I guess. But if I don't, I will see you at the weekend. And most importantly, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are. I'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.